Hey, yeah, it's Baz here back with another YouTube video, and today I want to talk about something I've been thinking about for a wee while, and I just wanted to make this wee video on it for you. So it's PlayStation games at $70 versus Xbox Game Pass. I want to go through some things, and I want to talk about it. Let's get to it. So this is a thing I've been thinking about for a while, and it's one of those that there's been a lot of talk of, different companies going in different directions, and PlayStation's went down the route of they've increased their games to $70 and other companies as well, versus the likes of Xbox Game Pass. And it's something that I didn't know what way I wanted to do this video for you, and I seen this article just today, and I maybe want to go through. Now I'm not sure if I'll go through the full everything that they're saying in it. I might pick a few topics out that I want to put in the video. I'll link it in the description below for you as well if you want to have a read through the full thing. And let's get to the article. $70 video games, is this the new normal? Some game publishers are now setting prices at $70. Let's look at the basis for this and if it's set to become a standard. Since gaming entered the HD era in 2005 with the Xbox 360, the standard price of new games has been $60. However, with the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X in 2020, the price of some titles has gone up to $70. Will this become the new normal for all games? Let's look at the history of the video games pricing, which games are releasing at $70 and what will likely happen in the future. A look back at the historical video game pricing. The PS5 and Xbox Series X represent the 9th generation of video games consoles. A price tag of $60 has become standard starting in the 7th generation with the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. During this time, Nintendo undercut this by charging $50 for the full price Wii titles. However, with the Wii U, part of the 8th generation with the Xbox One and PS4, Nintendo moved up to $60 games too. The price has persisted with Switch titles. $50 was the baseline price in earlier generations for some time, from roughly the PlayStation's launch in 1995, the 5th generation, to the end of the 6th generation, the Xbox, GameCube and PS2. Most big name games were priced at $50. There were some outliners such as more expensive Nintendo 64 titles, but the $50 price point was standard. In the 4th generation, the SNES, Genesis, and early game prices could vary wildly, so that era isn't very useful for the discussion. Of course, simply comparing numbers isn't accurate. We need to adjust for inflation to get an accurate picture. A $50 PlayStation game in 1995 is equivalent to about $87 in 2021. In 2001, a $50 GameCube game would be equal to about $75 today, and a $60 game for the Xbox 360 in 2005 would cost you $81 in today's money. With this, we can see that the $70 PlayStation game is still less expensive than a $50 PS1 game. Let's look at more details about the change next. What games has been released at $70 so far? Since the 9th generation began, the following games have been released at $70 on the new consoles. Their last gen and PC versions, where applicable, are still priced at $60. So NBA 2K21, published by 2K Sports, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, published by Activision, Demon's Souls, published by Sony, Godfall, published by Gearbox, and MLB The Show 21, published by Sony. We know that Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, a Sony published a PS5 exclusive game coming in June 2021, will cost $70 as well. Other major cross-generation titles have stayed at the older price point. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, released at $60 on PlayStation. One purchase of that game provides access to both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions. Similarly, thanks to the Smart Delivery on Xbox, you automatically get the best version of supported games you own. Why are publishers raising game prices? The CEO of Take-Two, who publishes the NBA 2K series, is one of the corporate names that has spoken about the game price increase. He commented on how long it's been since games have gone through a price increase and said that the company thinks consumers are ready to pay $70 games. This is because titles like 2K21 provide an array of extraordinary experiences and a lot of replayability, he says. Take-Two inferred that it plans to make decisions about pricing for other games on a case-by-case basis. Xbox management has offered similar thoughts, saying that the game and pricing is complicated. For example, Xbox published title Ori and the Will of the Wisp released at $30, while other games from the studio have been between $40 and $60. Ubisoft hasn't raised the price of their first few next generation games, but could do in the future. So a smaller spin-off game might launch at $50 given its reduced scope, but for a yearly series like NBA 2K that fans buy without question every year, why wouldn't the publisher raise the price? Is this price increase justified? Now that we've looked at the current state of the gaming pricing, we consider whether it's fair. There's no denying that the price of games hasn't increased proportionally to inflation over time, but there are more factors to this. A lot of the arguments in favour of raising the price of games hinge on the fact that the cost of production a game has skyrocketed over the past few decades, and while this is true, it doesn't tell the whole story. Alternative ways for games to make money. Another obvious change over the years isn't that games have so many alternative methods of earning money after the release nowadays, often because the game you get at launch isn't even the entire package. Even after paying $60 or $70 for a new game, there are very often microtransactions for loot boxes, alternative costumes, battle passes, and similar. This is how games like Fortnite, which are free to download, can still make hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. For a single player game that's released as a full experience and doesn't try to nickel and dime you, it's easier to make an argument for a $70 price. But for a title like NBA 2K21, claiming that the game offers extraordinary experiences and is thus worth the price increasing is laughable. Sports games are notorious for being most identical with each annualized release, and they have obnoxious monetization deeply ingrained. Publishers will charge what they can get away with. We've looked at what the cost of video games was in the past, how it's changing and where it's going. As the 9th generation continues, we'll likely see a few publishers test the waters, set their game prices based on what people are willing to pay, and then others will follow suit. If these higher prices have you upset, remember that one of the best ways to save money on gaming is to wait for its price to drop or buy used games. With some patience, the $70 price tag should rarely affect you. So we've read through the article there, and there's been some interesting points and as to why the games over the years have been priced and then increased through the generations and so on and so forth. But the main point of my video that I want to make now, do you prefer the $70 price tag to the PlayStation games and some other publishers as well that are increased to, or do you prefer Xbox Game Pass? This has been weighing my mind a lot recently, and I've just been toying to and fro, and this is just, I've maybe went a wee bit longer in this video than I wanted to. I've seen this article, there's a lot more content now, I've had to skip some of it out. I will link it in the description below and you can read through the full thing yourself as well. For me, the $70 price tag is a jump up. You know, you're taking, if you're buying a new game, it's a bigger gamble. You know, it's a price increase that's obviously they're justifying. The costs are a lot higher, and the cost, you know, to do this, to produce all these big budget AAA games. Obviously, there's indie games and AA games and other types of games, and they're, you know, they're going to have probably different price points, but so they're all going to increase, you know, depending on what type of game it is as well. But if you're out there to buy your AAA experience game, for me, I don't think that I am in that camp of wanting to spend the $60 or $70 now. You're taking a much more of a risk, and you know, if you're buying a game at that price and say you're not happy with it, or you're not sure of the game, like, give you an example, recently I bought Outriders was 60 quid. So I think it was $60, £60 in our money, which maybe could have been $70. And the game's not bad, but the game's not a fully finished game, and it's going to take time. Obviously there's a lot of issues and stuff and all, so you're buying a game day one, but you're not getting the experience that you paid for as well. And for me, not just even for me, but thinking about everybody in general, there's not everybody's wanting to go out and spend that $60 or $70 on a game. If they're continually new games coming out, all the time as they are now, not everybody will have the money to be doing that as well. So this got me thinking. So you've got games that are $70, and then you've got Microsoft's route who are going down the route of Xbox Game Pass. I want to give you where I stand on the both. So you've heard there that the $70 price tag, I'm still a bit hesitant on it, and you're getting in and you're buying a game, you're taking a risk at that money. I think people and myself are going to be making a more informed and looking into games more and looking to make sure that it's a good investment for them. Through this article, they made a comment that you could wait till the games come down in price. You could wait for sales where it's digital, disc, new, used, whatever. But then there was something I had read recently that if you're not supporting the developer day one and paying the full price tag, if say only half of the people that was going to buy that game buys it at full price and the other half waits, so they're maybe not getting the true projected sales of what people want to play that game, because there's a number of people that are going to wait till it does, or see it how it does maybe when it comes out, or wait till it's down in price. So then the dilemma I got myself thinking about was, if you're not willing to pay the $70, are you willing to pay the likes of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is $15 a month? That's the other option you have. Then you don't have to be forking out the $70. Say if there's a new game comes out every other month or every other month, you know what I mean? So that does accumulate over the years. Sorry, I'm rambling a wee bit here. I'll try and get this picked up a wee bit. So then I was thinking about the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for $15. Do you go that route instead? Which cuts you out paying the money up front. You're just paying that fee monthly, which only I think works out about $180 a year. 3 games or less, and you've paid for it at $70. But then the other thing for me going down that route is that there's not enough games. Like the games in at the minute are the games I have mostly invested in. So I've got a lot of the games that I would play that's ready in Game Pass. So for me at the minute, as to where it stands, there's not enough new content coming in on a regular basis for me to justify paying that $15 a month. Do you understand what I'm saying? If Microsoft had it to the point, and that, I know this is where they're going, I think this is where they're going, they're wanting to get enough studios, enough third party deals, that they can have content coming in all the time. I don't know, I've heard rumours that they want it to be on a monthly basis, so there's going to be, every month there's going to be a new game, where it's AAA, AA, indie, whatever it is. But that's what I think they're aiming towards. Maybe if Game Pass was at that point, I'd be more invested into paying the $15 a month, to get the Ultimate, so I could have games on PC and on console, which I do play on both. For me at the minute, I'm not happy with the $70 price point versus if you go to the Xbox Game Pass, because I'm not there as to where it would be for me to invest in it. Obviously, I have Game Pass Ultimate at the minute, but that's because I got the dollar deal and it's put all my gold into Game Pass. So I'm not paying the full money, so I've got the benefit at the minute, but I'm not really using it to its full potential. Look, I'm going to wrap it up there, but it's just, there's just a lot of things to think about on both sides. The article I've seen hopefully would maybe help you as well. I didn't go through it all, I went through some of it. As I said, I've linked it in the description below and you can go through it yourself, and if you want to leave a wee comment below. Personally, I'm not for either at the minute, so I'm not for the $70 price tag for the PlayStation and other games, and I'm not there yet for Xbox Game Pass. I want to be there. I think if there's more content coming out on a regular basis, and they got it in a way that you knew it was coming out in advance, then so you know it's coming in the next month, the next 2 months, but they're still a long way off, getting a lot of their first party studios there and getting the games start to come out on a regular basis. So obviously they're trying at the minute to get third party deals and so on and things coming, down the line. Maybe if they get that sorted and there's every month or every whatever they're trying to do, at that point I think I'd be more inclined to subscribe to Game Pass. But at the minute, I'm not for either. Some people are maybe not going to like what I have to say, but that's just my sort of thoughts on that and stuff. So, but here, look, I'm going to close it off there. I've been rambling on here long enough. But here, if you're liking the content I'm creating, you want to help support the channel, any support is very much appreciated. If you want to hit that wee like button, and if you want to hit the wee subscribe button as well to see all my other videos, and the wee bell notification button as well, and you can see when all my future videos drop. But here, thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you soon, bye!